It's going. There we go. Finally, stream is on. Whew, I've got such a setup today. It's insane. Hello, everyone. Jakob from haQ Live, Jakob Live, whatever. I'm so confused today because I've been trying to set up this really contrived full thing here with. I've got. Wait, as usual, I gotta turn down volume on my iPhone so I can hear that the stream is going through, and it is. So I've got Discord set up right here so that somehow I'm gonna be able to bring in someone if anyone wants to join up and talk live. So it's not some kind of like really awesome setup where you're gonna see the person yet or anything like that. My MacBook can't handle it, so we're gonna run it like this. So it's only gonna be audio if someone decides to join up and talk live, because I know it can be quite daunting when you don't do live stuff all the time. Like me and others like me, you kind of get used to talking live, and you've probably seen me go from this really insecure person, in front of a live camera to the I'm still insecure, but I just I don't show it that much. I kind of hide it. So what we're gonna do today is talk about apps that disappear and why they disappear, and in some cases, well, we're also gonna rant a bit, I think, about why we're so angry about some apps disappearing. And if you can hear music right now, then that's Rebirth. I'm running Rebirth on my iPad Pro, which is it's kind of cool, to be able to run Rebirth RB338 on the iPad. This is an old app that I've been using for ages. What is that little thing there? Go away. All right, so this is an app that is no longer available on the App Store. Okay, Rebirth here. It's so old. Even the Rebirth Museum online, for those of you who don't know about that, there used to be a site called Rebirth Museum. When Propellerhead, who made this, they discontinued it, and it happened around the time when basically Roland were pushing out their boutique series RB, or their TBs, TB303s, and I get it. They want the focus to be on there, and to be fair, Roland did make the TB, they made that, and so it's their IP. If they want to use that and they want to stop others from doing that, it's their prerogative and it's their right to do so, because they own it, and instead of just going out on a big lawsuit against everybody, they basically asked them to stop, and so they stopped. That's what I understand about it, and it's a shame, because when stuff disappear, for me, an app can be art, and I never want any type of art to just disappear, no matter what it is. It might be hateful art, it might be loving art. I don't want it to disappear. I don't want songs to disappear. I want humanity to have this library of everything that we created available. But it's not possible to have everything available. But now, when we are in the information age, at least some kind of traces of it left somewhere. And yeah, it's just a damn shame. How many of you own RB and are able to run it still on your iPads? There's a reason to why I keep old iPads. This is another old app that I love, made by Studio Amplify, and it's not it's Studio Amplify, I think, or it's not the same people from Novation who then broke off and started making Groovebox. It's another creator. It's the same creator that made Craft, or KRFT. So we'll talk about that. I'll show you, but I keep an old device because I want to keep the old apps also, and so we're gonna go through some of those, and I want you to type into chat all of the apps that you've seen disappear completely and will list them, because I will go through all the comments here and I will be writing them down, because I am of course working on an episode for my main channel, more streamlined, where I go into this, do a little bit more research. I've already been talking to some developers about apps disappearing, and this week alone I think I've had 7 comments about apps that people can't find. So I mean, it's an interesting topic. And so, of course, we're going to see mentions of Alchemy. Alchemy is one of those apps that people were absolutely outraged about it disappearing. Because when it disappeared, it also took with it all the in-app purchases and everything that people had bought in there. So that's a lot of money invested into something that they're currently using. Turns out that Apple purchased the license to put it into GarageBand, and then I've heard that some people who are now able to use that GarageBand version, which I have not used, so I don't know, okay? They say that it's been neutered, not neutered, wait, that it's been nerfed. And for those of you who don't know, nerfed is an old gaming term. It basically means it's made into crap. They've taken away abilities or functions or stuff in there. Basically, they nerfed it. So yeah, you're losing all your IAPs. And for those of you who are using Alchemy in GarageBand right now, why don't you type out into chat what has been nerfed? I can see Jamie Malader in the chat. Hello, bro, from another channel. This guy is a real sausage, everyone, if you didn't know, but he's always been a sausage. I saw papers of DNA proof. He's got sausage DNA, but only in his hair. I don't know how that works. Oh god, I love this old app. I love this. Of course, now we do have Pure Acid, which is basically like half of this. Well, it's not half. Pure Acid is basically like one bass machine, and then you have all of these machines, including the 707 in the drum machine. So all those sounds. Well, it's not those sounds. It's not like Jim sampled them. He didn't. He wanted to make his own thing, but you can make Pure Acid sound like this. And so yeah, I think we're kind of saved on that front. When it comes to groove boxes, Jim Audio, he does it right. And I must say, after using Drambo now for a year, Drambo is, I think it's the top app coming out, like almost ever. Like Drambo changed so many things, the way I look upon the iPad. It changed stuff in the way that Borderlands Granular and TC11 did, and also Sampler. Drambo is a game changer on so many levels, it's insane. I have to make that video, Drambo, the app that changed everything, and do some comparisons, between other apps and stuff, because wow. At least that is not an app I think is going to disappear anytime soon. But are there apps out there already that you feel might be disappearing? I mean, I mentioned this one. So let me just give you a taste of what this is, okay? So I'm going to pull down this one. I hope you can hear this. Now, I'm a drum and bass head, so I absolutely love this. So let's have some drum and bass. And this track is made by Alex. I think it is Alex, the same Alex who is the developer of Craft. And the Craft developers are the ones that made this app. It's called Junglist. And I think you can get it off the App Store, but it's no longer supported. So if you have any iOS above 12 or 11 or something like that, you can't run it. Of course, this is an iPad Mini 1, and so yeah, that's pretty cool. Bring it! I absolutely love this app, and I love any apps that does stuff like this. And it turns out that Mr. Selector himself, Alex, he made Croft together with his brother, because it's a group, it's two brothers making the studio amplify stuff. So he turned to something called Croft, and Croft was supposed to be this platform modular where you could build your own interface and everything. So even though we lost this one, we got Croft, but now Croft hasn't been supported for some time, and so I'm afraid that's another app that is going to disappear because they were working on it. But here's the thing, why do developers stop working on their apps? Before we get into that, let me just show you Croft, because I'm not showing and telling. So we're gonna go. This is the AUM situation we got right now. So I've got USB card with the input from this cable, meaning that when someone talks here later on Discord, I'm gonna be bringing in the audio from here, and hopefully that's gonna be good enough for you to hear whoever is talking in there. This might turn bad also with the Discord, because for some reason I left the channel open so anyone can join. All right. Okay, so in the next channel I've got a little loop so I can do my hack attack music, and then I've got Propeller's Rebirth, and then I've got Croft. So we're gonna go to Croft. I'm gonna raise the volume on this one, and this is something I made. It looks a bit derpy. I know it's a bit derpy, but it's cool, and I love this interface. And for those of you who have been watching me for a while, and you have seen me use this to create entire tracks and perform them live and then record them, and you have a track there. But the thing that went into it was days and days of work with the interface and making my stuff. Here I just made something derpy to make myself something kind of like this, only I could put in whatever I want. So let's roll this thing. It's cool, so I can trigger my drum slices how I want. So basically, I said slices, but these aren't really. It's not wave. It's a sequencer. So all of these things are being sequenced, and then I've put in my own sequences that I can trigger any way I want, and everything follows as the sequence tempo. So that's why I'm getting this effect from it, and you can even build effects like that. So basically, what Alex and his brother did was they took this and they made this. They took that and made that. Well, not that derpy guy there, but they made this interface. And I've made some really, really intricate stuff, and it took me ages to make them. Let me show you one here. I'll show you this one. It's probably gonna complain. No, it's not. I made this thing, and this took ages to make. So I have different drum loops and stuff. It really is this thing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. I didn't even know I had them. Work. Yeah, okay. I can't even remember how to play this interface now. if you want to see this performed, you can find it. Just search for Jakob haQ Croft live performance thing. So in one way, we lost this, but we got something better. But then they stopped supporting it. Why? Well, I talked to Alex, and one of the things that made him stop doing it was that he needed to earn money to pay his bills. Since apps weren't doing that, he had to stop. He had to think about something else, so he and his brother started doing other things to be able to pay their bills because they are app developers. That is their job. And unless you release a certain amount of apps per year, or unless you have an app that is popular or continues getting sales way past after that first week of sales. I mean, I've seen it firsthand now with Agonizer synth that me and Kairos did. 1 week, and then we had we wanted to release it close to Christmas so we could get in on all the sales, because those are when most of you guys buy all the apps. And when I say guys, I'm saying it like as everybody. I'm not assuming your genders, all right? So I simply wanted Agonizers to have the best launch possible, so I had to think about when. And so even though we had set our date, we lost the date because we wanted the app to perfectly function also, which it didn't perfectly function because we didn't have all the iPads to test on. And then it turned out that on some iDevices, because of the screen resolution, the vobulator got hidden under the keyboard. We didn't see that bug, but now we've seen it, so now we're working on it. So at least it was the least buggiest app that Kai has ever released, he told me. So it was good that we took that extra month and kept pushing back the date, and we didn't care about it, and we still got the synth out in time for Black Friday and all of the holiday sales. So we sold a fair amount of Agonizer thanks to that. Now, if you release your app at the wrong time in the year, you're not going to get any sales. Or how about this? Kairos had a synth, Volt synth, and it came out. It's a great synth, and a lot of people recognize that. When I made my video about that, people saw it, and then I saw loads of people talk about it. The reason to why it got kind of pushed away and why no one was talking about Volt synth was because Model D came out the same day. And it completely sunk all the sales for Kai, because Model D, you get it. I mean, it's Moog. It got right up there, and it kept being at the top of the list for weeks and weeks and months, and it's kept going. I think they've sold quite a lot of Model Ds. So, I mean, that's one thing. And Croft is this one app, and it's not a DAW because it doesn't edit audio, but it kind of works. It looks weird. I know it looks. I made this interface. It looks nothing like a Core Gadget or Nano Studio or anything like that. But that's kind of what you have. You have instruments like Nano Studio in here, and these boxes are sequencers. These are sequencers, different types of sequencers. A full one is a full sequence, and then one that is not filled in, that is a triggerable sequence, but it's still sequences. So if I open any of these boxes up, we can see that, where is it? Edit. We can see a little, I put a note in here, a MIDI note in here. So what they had to do to keep this thing up is to keep updating it, but it's just one app, and since it is kind of hard to get into, they had a hard time probably selling it. And if they're not selling it, they can't justify putting in time into it. And that's why I think we haven't seen updates, because they need to pay their bills. It's too bad. It's too bad. We got Mobile Music Pro in the chat. Yeah, Croft. This is KRFT, and the only reason why it looks like this is because I built the interface like that. It can look many ways, actually. It's a really cool app, but as I've said, it doesn't give any. It hasn't received any updates in quite some time. I even built a full interface that completely, like this one. This one makes no sound if I play anything in here. No sounds at all. Even though stuff is playing right now, it makes no sounds. You know why? Because this is just MIDI sequencing, And the way I was getting sounds out of this thing was by running channels out into Korg Gadget. So I had several channels of Korg Gadget running in the background, and these were the sequences for the different synths, like the wobble synth and some of the lead synths and everything. And then I was triggering samples through here, So I was using it as a sequencer. And I think for most users, it's kind of hard to get into this because you kind of have to build your own interface. And I think that makes it a hard sale. Is it going to disappear? I don't know. I have no idea. But it looks like a candidate for disappearing off the App Store unless it's being updated. We lost a lot of apps back when iOS was turned over from 32-bit to 64 because developers had to update their apps to support the 64-bit architecture. So that's also another reason. Now, I don't think we're going to go into 128 bits anytime soon, but I mean, that's definitely a thing in the future that might happen. I know that you've been typing like crazy in here, um, but I haven't been keeping up. Either way, as soon as you come up with an app that you know has disappeared, just type it into there. You don't have to give any context. Just type the app name in there and spell it correctly so that I can find it or find some information about it, because I'm collecting all the data for a proper episode on the other channel. Now, another app that has disappeared, you're probably going to recognize a red thread going through all of these apps that I'm talking about that I miss so much. Okay, so Rebirth was one thing, but then I showed you this thing, which is going to go, it's going to disappear. And then I showed you this thing, which is probably going to disappear unless they update it because, So what else? What else? Well, I want to show you another app I have on here. So I'm going to close down that one, and I'm going to open up one of the best drum manglers I've ever used. And I am so surprised that no one has made an app like this. There have been many attempts and many apps that want to do similar things. But what I like with this one is that it keeps your slices and everything in sync with the BPM and keeps playing through kind of like glitch breaks, kind of like glitch breaks, but not really. Because glitch breaks, if you trigger stuff wrong, you get it wrong. And sometimes I just want a sequencer keeping everything in check once I play stuff. And yes, Red Skull Lullaby, Stuart, you're right. It is Amen Break Generator. And this one is not available anymore. So let's play with this. Yeah? Oh, yes. I love this. I love this so much. I wish someone would make this thing again because I don't want it to be gone. The only place where I can use it properly is right here on my iPad mini 1, which goes as high as up to iOS 9. That's the highest we can go with this one, iOS 9. With the iPad mini 2, you can go as high as to iOS 12, and it stops there. And so, I mean, why can't anyone make it? Like I said, I love Alex's glitch breaks. I love that one, and I use that for other things. But when I want to do stuff like juggling, I want to use an app like this. It has a waveform, it's cut up into slices, and then there is a tempo holding sequencer in here. So when you're triggering it, it triggers it on beat all the time. And I used to play around with this a lot. You'll find several live performance videos where I'm using this thing together with my Mini Nova, for instance. It's just lovely. I hate that it's gone. Another app that I heard was gone suddenly because Sector is cool. Future Music, Sector is cool. However, it doesn't work for me in this way, even though I've tried, because there's something jerky with the timing for me, and I don't know why. And when I used Sector in the past, I've always used it to make non uh, like when I use this, it's because I want beat juggles that sound straightforward, that makes sense. When I use sector, I make it to make stuff that doesn't make sense in rhythm, kind of, because of how it works and how you can set it up. But that one is, it's insane. You can make stochastic beats in there, but within a set amount of, which makes it non-stochastic really. But yeah, you can make stuff sound insane in that one, especially if you start mixing up waveforms that contain like vocals and stuff. Sector is another one that you guys should check out if you like beat juggling and things like that. Because this one is gone, but there is still glitch breaks by Matthew. Um, I think I used to call him Alex Matthew. And then there are craft for those of you who want to build your own interface and make your own drums and make your own juggles and your own stuff, because that one will also trigger according to its sequencer. Like I said, the only downside is that you have to make the stuff yourself. You have to build it from scratch yourself. There might be still people who are sharing, surfaces for that one, but still, you have to build it yourself. Yeah, things like that. And they did do an update before they stopped doing updates, basically, and it brought a lot of stuff into it. Next up, ZT3A. Now, I saw that caption or cap from the captain in chat. So, there's an app. It's called. It's made by Cakewalk. It's called Zeta or Z3 C3 Z3TA Plus on iOS. It used to be there, and then it disappeared. And the thing was, you could actually use it, but as soon as you went past a certain date, it stopped working. Now I've seen people, Captain Energy. Okay, sorry, Captain. Now I've seen rumors online that you can set the date and time back to before that date, and it will start working again. I haven't been able to try it because I don't know what date that is. If anyone else has heard about that rumor, because it is a rumor, I don't like spreading rumors. That's why I want to make sure it's just a rumor. It's nothing confirmed. But if anyone has tried that out, maybe the captain can provide. I don't know. Captain, do you know, Captain? I always ask my captain. When I don't know what to do, I ask my captain. Captain Energy. Captain Energy. That's pretty smart name there. I didn't get it. Good evening, the audio dabbler. Oh, we got Mitch. We got Mitch in the chat too. Sorry, it's so good. It's my favorite tea. The apple thing. It tastes like fresh green apple. So if you take a green apple off a tree and then you squeeze it in your hand and you, yeah, it tastes like that. It's a very sensual flavor. I love it so much. Jamie Mallander's been using Agonizer, smashing app. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for my ego needed that, Jamie. I've had a weird day, a really weird day, and I've been trying to help my partner because she's been out learning stuff like cutting trees properly and things like that, pruning trees, and she overworked herself because they did it 2 days in a row. So her neck has been so bad. I've had to give her massages a couple of times now because of the pain giving her headache, so she's unable to move around. That can't be good. So Zeta or C3A or whatever from Cakewalk. Now I can't find. Do I have that app here? Because I don't think I can start it. But we'll see. Yeah. Okay. I still have Zeta here. So if I start it up, it's gonna not start up, I think, because it was What the? Are you serious? Wait. Oh, of course, there's no audio. That's the thing. There's no audio from it, isn't it? Yeah. I gotta see here. That's the channel, right? Yeah, no. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's disabled. It's disabled. That's so horrible. That's so horrible. Why cry over old apps that cost less than a cup of tea? Well, if it is a tool that you were using a lot and someone takes it away when you're still using it, I mean, crying isn't the right thing to do. I would probably go after that person and tell that person to give me my tool back. And I get it that people get angry because if you pay for something, you use it, someone comes in and takes it away. I think that it is a bit different if there is an app that you purchased that has you haven't been using it maybe for months, and then suddenly someone tells you it's gone, and then you remember it. If no one told you, maybe you wouldn't remember, or maybe you would notice later on. In those cases, I find it harder to get angry because I feel like I should have made sure that I had it on my iPad. But even if you make sure that you have it on your iPad, like this synthesizer, I love this synth. I was using this, and then it disappeared. And when I saw that the app developers stopped developing this thing, I stopped using it. And so when it disappeared, like, again, someone told me it was gone, and that's how I found out. So I downloaded it as soon as I could because for some time, even though the developer has maybe stopped developing it, usually their store stays up, and so you can download stuff you already purchased because it's kind of saved and reserved for you. But in other cases, you can't. So how about the PPG stuff? Because Wolfgang Palm went out and said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm stopping development. The guy is getting old, and I get it. He's been doing it for a long, long time. But the PPG apps were something that a lot of people used. And so I got a comment today about someone asking me, Jakob, can you find where Phonem is? I can't find Phonem anymore. And I'm going to have to tell that person because I looked. I'm sorry. If you didn't download it or if you didn't purchase it, you're not going to be able to download it again. And I don't even know if it is available even now because I think that his stuff is gone from the App Store. I'm not sure. Let's do a quick search here on the App Store. Let's just see if Phonem is still here. Phonem. Okay. Uh, what do I search for? Wolfgang Palm? Nope. PPG. 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 Can't find anything on PPG at all. We just find these really bad game clones that are probably horrible and full of in-app purchases and pay to win. And God, the gamer in me just screams at this stuff. Mobile gaming is dead, everyone. I mean, there are still some games left there if you want to play FTL, but that game came out 4 years ago, crying out loud. Yeah, so PPG Phonem is gone. I'll try to bring it up if I still have it installed on my iPad so people can see it. Like I said, I was asked about this app today. And I haven't launched it on this. This is the first time I launched it on the iPad Pro from 2018, the 11-inch that I got. So this is basically a vocal synthesizer, and it's awesome. It's amazing in what it does, and I still have it because I downloaded it. But it doesn't look like you can get it anymore, and I don't even know if you can re-download it, and I don't want to check because I don't want to delete this and then try to download it again. If it's gone, it's gone, and I want to keep it here for as long as I can have it. But here's an app I haven't used in a while, simply because it took me too long to do stuff in here. But wow, when it comes to making a synth sing, this one really does it. It's amazing. So PPG was sold to Plugin Alliance, and all apps have been removed. Okay, thank you, Mike Lucas. That might mean that they might come back as apps, or we might see them somewhere else on But yeah, they're gone from that store. And if they re-emerge on the App Store, as iOS apps, you're gonna have to buy them again. We got Star Ackerman in the chat. Hello, Star. I hope you are doing well today. Thank you for sharing that live stream thing, by the way. Oh, anyone who missed it, I did this live stream thing for IK Multimedia, and they thought it was so good they put it on their YouTube channel, which is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, there's been a lot of nice musicians on that channel. It just feels good to be among such great musicians, even though I am a bit derpy and doofy sometimes. You can go and find it. It's called Streaming the World, something, something. I think they're doing it for the NAM thing or something like that. So there's a bunch of other people that did streams and things. So it's all recorded there. And I'm doing this dark, kind of old future garage-ish, dubbish thing there. It's yeah. Just go check it out if you haven't. But wait until the stream is over. All right. They started a whole series from from yours. What? You thought it was cool? Also, oh, iRig stream the world. Oh, okay. No, really? Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So that's a whole series? I didn't realize that. They just asked me to do something and I did that. I liked that setup I was using though. Oh, Zeta. It was such a good synth. Is it available? Anyone, do you know anywhere? Is this available anywhere else? Is it still available on desktop? Like, can you buy Zeta on desktop? Or is it maybe it's just part? So I was the first. That's pretty awesome. It's not like I want to be the first every time, but it feels good that I was able to help in kicking off something, even though I didn't know I was going to do that. So yeah, I'm really thankful to them for asking me to do that live thing. It gave me an opportunity to get in even more. So I was trading a lot with Drambo and sequencing, and I did that also because I was planning on making my Drambo sequencer AUM episode. Because I was using that setup that I showed in that video on my main channel. I was using that setup. That's where I kind of, made the whole concept ready for that video. Because I just saw how, or felt how good it was being able to work with Drambo in AUM. So that was the whole, like, the proper start for that episode. There is even some extra footage that I took with that setup in that video. That's really cool. So I'm glad it turned out well, and looks like people seems to like it anyway. Zeta was a desktop first, but Cakewalk went out of business and dropped it, and Dimension Sampler at the same time. Oh, okay, I get it. Damn. If these apps were open source, they would make the coding of other apps easier to learn. Yeah, yeah. But such is the thing when you're working with company IPs. If there's a chance that you can make some money of it, because when you have an IP, that means that's the kind of work you don't have to redo again. Okay, you have to if you get into the eyes of the perspective of the company and you drop the whole thing. If we drop the whole, they're greedy. If you drop that, just watch at if we look at what goes into the making of an app. You have to first get the developers who are experienced enough to build what you want to build. They have to understand what you want to build, and then they have to build it, and then they have to make it available and make it function on maybe several platforms, and maybe all of that with sound engines and cards and blah blah and whatnots and different formats, AU, VST, you know what I mean? Okay, so once you've built this thing, once you have that whole skeleton work and the whole building basically, are there any more things you can do with it? Well, if it's popular, you keep upgrading it because you're still earning money from it. And if you're not earning money for it to pay the developers for working on that synth or that thing, then you might be making enough money on other sites, maybe selling off your DAWs or selling apps or something else, selling sample packs, things like that. So you have to divert the money into that. And so if that money flow stops and you can no longer justify paying these people to do this, well, you have to pull them from this and put them somewhere else, unless you want to fire them, And that's something I don't want to see. I don't want to see people getting fired because a company may be not making enough money. There's a whole other discussion to be had about maybe people, in the higher ups getting rich and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what it goes into making an app and how you have to think about that. There's always someone micromanaging everything, what I've understood after talking to companies, and you have to make everything pay out, and you also have to make more money than you just need in order to take that money and put it into future things, future development, future employment, things like that. And sometimes you have to plan for having a bad period where you're selling nothing. So out of a company's perspective, I can get why some things are being dropped. And as a consumer, it it just freaking makes me outraged when I want to open an app and I can't open it past the date. Or I can open it past the date, but I can't play it. And I paid money for this. And yes, of course, someone would say, hey, it just cost you the same amount of money as a cup of tea. You see, the amount of money you pay for something doesn't matter in this as a consumer. It doesn't matter if you paid $1 or if you paid $300. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's something you went out, you had some thought about, you bought it, you used it, you liked it, and then someone takes it away. So you're always going to get angry as a consumer. But I think that sometimes it could be a licensing deal. Maybe a company or developer has used a bit of code that they only had license for a certain time, and they have to keep paying that license to maintain their app and to keep it legal, maybe. And so once you run out of money, which you do easy as a developer on iOS at least, unless you keep on pushing out apps, well, you're not getting that steady money inflow, and so now you can't pay the license, and so you're thinking, what do I do now? Then suddenly Apple drops, hey, we're gonna change everything out to 32 bits. If you have a 64 bits, if you have a 32-bit, you need to fix that. And then the developer looks at their code. Maybe it's a messy code, and they're thinking, I can't do this no more. I'm just gonna drop it. And so they drop it, and so it disappears. I think there are scenarios like that happening, more than we might want it to, but it's always this battle. And on iOS, I know that a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but for me, apps are just ridiculously cheap. And sure, you can sell more of it, and you have some kind of security against pirating because of how Apple works and things like that. I'm not saying you can't hack Apple devices. I've heard rumors about it. It's not something I know about. I'm not looking to be sued here by Mr. Apple, but things like that. You're kind of secure inside the Apple system, both as a consumer and both as someone who develops. And they already have everything set up with the store and everything, and so when they used to, because this year now, if you make less than $1 million a year, I think it is, you only have to pay 15% to Apple as an app developer, which is a very nice thing that they did. So that's good on Apple. Might have been the extra cash they earned from not paying, people blogging and vlogging about their apps. When they removed that whole thing, at least they're putting that money to good use. It's going to the developers now, which I feel is a good thing. But the constant money flow is an issue. Now, I want to try something out here. All right, so how many of you are on Discord? Because you can join my Discord group. And right now I got Perfectly Fifth right here in the chat room, and I'm gonna try. I don't know if Perfectly Fifth wants to chat, but if anyone wants to get in here, and we'll try chatting, and we'll try to see if any audio comes in. So do I have an invite link down there in the where is it? Do I have an invite link? Let me see here. I'm gonna see if I have an invite link on that video. I'll just do it like this. Do I have an invite link for the Discord? Yeah. So if you open up, if you open up the window for the video down here, the description, right down there you can find a Discord link where you should be able to, get into Discord if you're not a member of Discord, my Discord group. And then there is this, it's called Voice Live Chat, and you enter that room. Basically, and you should pop up in here and we should be able to talk. Now, Let's just see if anyone wants to do that. I can understand if no one wants to. And by the way, can y'all do me a favor and hit that like? I never asked for it, and I'm so stupid because I should. I should be asking for it. So if you want to, if you like the stream, if you like these things, just hit the like for me once. You know, if you hit it twice, you're basically unliking it. So don't do that. Just hit it once. Hit it once. Let's see here. I don't know if Perfectly Fifth wants to talk, but what I need to do is I need to change this out. So I'm gonna pull down that, and I'm gonna put the cable into here, and we can see if we're getting any volume output. I'm putting my microphone on, so whoever's in here should be hearing me. You should be hearing me. And now, of course, if you go into Discord and you hear me talking there, if you have my stream on in the background, you're gonna get that doubling effect. So you might want to turn it down. Yeah, we'll just see if anyone wants to get in here, because right now I'm live in the chat. I think I am. Yeah, it looks like it's glowing green there, so I'm talking and something is definitely happening.
Yeah.
Oh, is everyone hearing Perfectly Fifth here? Do you want to be called Perfectly Fifth, or should we call you something else?
It's actually Perfect Fifth. It's a term in music theory.
Oh, crap. I thought it had something to do with the Fifth Commandment or something. Commandment? Fifth Amendment or something. I read that wrong. I'm sorry, man. You still there, bro?
It's fine.
So what are you up to?
Not much happening today.
Did you buy any apps that like disappeared on you or something? I don't know how long exact. I think you've told me sometime how long you've been doing iOS music, but I can't remember.
I've only been for like. It's only been like I got mine in 2020, so.
Oh, okay, all right. So about a year or something.
Yeah.
All right. So you haven't had the chance to buy any apps that disappeared yet? I mean, there are some old ones
Not
still.
yet.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. So then you're not affected yet, but I'm sure you will be at some point. We all get affected by it. So what kind of like music are you into?
Yes.
That's great. That's awesome. I love that answer. So like anything basically?
Many things.
I love everyone. I love this dude. I should have you on more. I should have you on more. Is there like a special app that you like a lot? Something that you use every day?
I'm really still just getting into it. I haven't had much chance to explore the Apple's.
So what have you explored so far? I mean, there's got to be some apps that you've tried out at least by now. I know that.
One second, let me just open up the iPad.
Oh yeah. Gotta check it out. It looks like we got Star in the chat too. Sup, Star?
Welcome, Star Ackerman.
Star is someone who's been working inside the music industry for a long time. She knows a lot of people, and I've had the pleasure of working with her. Really sweet, kind-hearted person. And she has been working for AGONIZER Multimedia in the past too. For those of you who don't know, that's kind of how I discovered her. Was interesting though, because I talked to Saint Joe, who has a channel on YouTube, Now I can't remember the name of his channel, but basically he asked me if it was okay for her to contact me because she had some ideas and stuff. So I basically said yes, and that's how we met. So if I hadn't met St. Joe there in Treppendorf when we were at the Toman synth reactor thing, me and Star wouldn't have talked probably. Do you have a mic, Star? Do you want to get in on this? Have you figured out how to do this yet? It's dead silent. Dead silent. How about Mr. Fifth? Have you found out what you like using on your iPad? Oh, you're shy and don't like to talk much? You know, I think you should be proud over how much you did talk. Actually, I think you should. Mr. Fung, what's up?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Nice to hear you.
Nice to hear you too, Jacob. Wow. Speaking in real life.
Yes, and I think it's pretty cool that it's happening real time. We should do much more of this, chat, don't you think? We should all get to chat. So Mr. Fung, what do you use on a daily basis? Have you lost any apps yet?
Not any music apps. I've lost a few old video games, which I was quite sad about. And my old iPhone 6 is like too destroyed to even use it as a old school backup
Oh,
device. But as far as music goes, I haven't lost any music apps yet.
all right. That's nice to hear. But wait, you say games? You've lost games? What kind of games?
There was one called Dino Loop Stones or something like that, and they got in a lawsuit, um, accused of copying a different game, and Apple took them down.
Oh,
And the game that accused them was pretty different and much crappier. So it was just one of those like IP copyright situations where you're kind of sad to see it go, but you understand, but it's gone. It doesn't work. It's 32-bit, so it won't work once everything went to 64-bit.
all right. And of course, for those reasons, those developers wouldn't want to remake it into something, rename it, and remarket it, and do it into 64. That could cost them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a damn shame. But out of any music apps that you use, is there something you use like on it like often?
Yeah, as far as music apps go, I use the Moog Model 15 app a lot. I bought a DJ Tech Tools MIDI Fighter Twister with 16 encoders, knobs, and push buttons, mostly to control that thing. So I've mapped out that modular onto that thing quite good, and I use that a lot. Gadget, Ohm, Mixbox. That's it usually, and then I hook it up. Like I use the knobs to tweak Moog Model 15, and then I use a Roly C board to play it, and that
Oh,
gives me some of those 5D sort of capabilities.
all right. I wish I could play keyboards, but you know, whenever I take the time to try to learn, I've never had the patience to do that. I used to play a lot of guitar in the past, but when it comes to key, it's weird, you know, because I like pushing buttons. When you say the DJ Tech Tools MIDI Fighter, you mean the one with the buttons, right? I think I have that on screen right now.
That's the plain MIDI fighter. So the MIDI fighter, the plain one, is the one with the buttons, the arcade buttons.
Yeah.
But then there's a MIDI fighter twister, which is 16 encoder knobs, infinite knobs, and they push down for buttons as well. So that's the one I got. I didn't get the. I'm less of like a finger drummer and more of a modular knobular.
Yeah, nobular person. I'm what I like with the MIDI fighters are I've been aching to get one myself, because I kind of like the box format. But how are they being powered? Is it completely bus powered?
Totally bus powered. I just plug it into one of those dongles that fit snugly to the side of the iPad,
Right.
and you plug it in there, and it's bus powered. Totally bus powered. It's great.
That is awesome. Oh, I gotta ask you though, what iPad are you using? What model? Is it Lightning or USB-C?
It's USB-C. I had a first gen, and the motherboard fried playing Call of Duty, And then I had to wait for like 6 months to save up cash, and then I got the new one this spring.
Wait, you fried it calling it sorry, you fried it playing Call of Duty on your iPad?
Yeah, the first gen iPad. I think it was just overheating near the charger cable because it was charging and I was playing, and it's just such a crazy game that I think it fried. That's when it died. It just froze, fried, and then it never charged again. And then I had it checked out, and they checked the motherboard.
Public announcement, everyone. Don't play Call of Duty on your old iPads because it will fry the motherboard. That sounds insane. But what happened when that happened? Did anything, like, did you see any smoke, or did it just die on you?
It just died. It got exceedingly hot for like 5 minutes, and then after that it just died, and then it just survived until the batteries died a little bit. Like, it just wasn't functioning very well. The touch screen stopped working, and then once the battery died, it just never accepted a charge and never worked again, and it was just bricked.
Wow. Okay, that sounds pretty horrible. I mean, they're not cheap either. They're not inexpensive devices. These iDevices. You're paying if you're buying one new, you're paying a premium price for something for several reasons. But it hurts to lose something like that. I've lost an iPhone before, and what happened with this, I went to bed, and then I woke up and it was dead. I don't know what happened to it. No moisture, no water, no heat, nothing. It just died. Decided to die. And I've even tried switching out batteries in it, and nothing helps. It's something with the electronics, I think.
It's extra sad when you don't have a reason. When a really expensive piece of device just dies, and you're just kind of left there with no answers.
Yeah.
It's so extra sad.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I think I saw someone else joining in on Discord. Looked like Captain Genetics. No, not Genetics. What was it? I forgot the name already. Captain Energy. Thank you. Thank you. Captain Energy. Are you about to join the chat? If you want to, you are welcome. And again, I want to say to Perfect Fifth. Sorry for misreading your name all the time. I think I've done that for a few times now, but at least I want to say that to Perfect Fifth. I think you've been extremely brave to have come on here and talked, even though you don't want to do that. Maybe you are an introvert person. I love introverts. I am that myself. I've had to learn a hard way to interact with people, and it hasn't been easy. So yeah, I really respect that. Thank you so much for coming on and lending your voice to my chat. It made it so much better. So yeah, I hope we get to talk more in the future. Mr. Fung. Mr. Fung. You're still here. So what are you doing today exactly? What is time where you are right now?
I'm in Canada. I'm in Edmonton, sort of Midwest Canada. It is, what the heck does that say? It's 12:57 p.m. I'm actually working right now.
Ooh. Oh, really?
I'm logging in remotely via VPN, and the VPN is just tanking, and I can't seem to open any files or do anything. So I thought I'd jump into the chat for a second while I wait for everything to load.
All right.
So I might have to run away. If my boss calls or something, I'll just have to run away.
No problem, dude. I mean, it's got to be pretty nice job to have anyway, to be able to jump on a chat like this. Sweet. Multitasking. Yeah, I like that. If there's anyone else who want to jump into the chat, you are so welcome to do that. You are so welcome. Anyone else looking to bite? To buy?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So sorry that I don't know how to use technology after, 17, 18 years of working in it.
Yeah, I find that extremely funny.
Like, oh, what's mute mean? What does that mean?
Oh, so you were muted when you entered.
Yeah, I just didn't know how to enable the microphone. How do you do this? And then I just touched the mute button and I was like, oh, enable mic. I'm like, oh, that works.
So
Sorry about that from before.
So everyone, this is Star Ackerman, and she's a proper star, absolutely a star. Now, Star, I want to ask you about app usage. Now, I know that you use desktop mainly to produce music, and she's quite a good producer too. If you don't know, you should go check out some of her music. I think you have some of it on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I released a track this year, and I re-released all my old catalog stuff in 2020. We had extra time, so I was like, oh, might as well just go and re-release all the stuff from like 2009 and 2006 and things like that.
Yeah.
I had let my catalog expire just due to being like different, situations in my life. But last year was a good year to reintroduce myself as a musician, and I hope a lot of people did the same. There's a lot of business people out there that started off, being musicians and ended up being business people. And 2020 was a great year for people to come back to who they really are, I think.
You sent me something that sounded great, by the way. I mean, what other platforms do you release on?
Mainly I use desktop because that's what I was, trained on. I was trained on Pro Tools, but Ableton is my favorite. But I've used everything. I've used GarageBand, iOS. I've used, just pretty much anything you possibly can. But honestly, the title of the apps disappearing really intrigued me because having worked for AGONIZER Multimedia and for Eventide Audio and other major, iOS developers, we've seen a lot of apps go away, and some of them were awesome. So like Groove Maker was one of the first apps that we released from IK in 2009. And we had, I think, like 11 or 12 different iterations of Groove Maker. So it had like each one had a great library of samples to use, and each one was its own machine. And basically, so like we had Groove Maker House, we even had Groove Maker Reggae. So if you wanted to make music, you could, and it was all encapsulated in one product. And we ended up not updating the individual Groove Makers and put it all into one platform instead, and it didn't do as well. Groove Maker really never took off the way that it could have. The new Groove Maker 2, and Groove Maker 1, like the all-encompassing ones.
Yeah.
And it was really sad because the original Groove Makers were so much easier to use, and you just take like a 1 or 2 minute tutorial and write it. After that, you're able to make a song in under 5 to 10 minutes. That's having no musical acuity whatsoever. So yeah, I hate it when apps disappear, but I do understand from a developer's perspective and from a manufacturer's perspective why we do it. And it's because there's so many apps on the market. Like, for example, I personally have released over 90 applications on the App Store. Yeah, so trying to update all those apps doesn't really work out, especially for the developers, especially for the manufacturer. If you have 40 active apps on the store and you're trying to release, five plugins and update those for desktop and all your other SKUs, some things are just going to have to go away, unfortunately. And if they're not making money, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I've talked about this with Kairos. I always ask him, like, how many apps more do you think you could add to your catalog when you're just one person? Even though you've built your own tool set, you've built skills around doing this one thing, you have everything ready, you can pick and choose, almost from modules, the pieces of code you want, and then you just have to tie it up and make it into a nice product. How many times do you think you can do that and uphold everything, keep everything up to date, keep up with every iOS version, when it changes? And he gives me this smile, and he's like, it's probably gonna be okay. He never really answers me, but I find that funny because he's already up at maybe, I don't know, 10 apps or something like that, and that's just one person. I mean, 40 apps, keeping 40 apps updated, that sounds like a lot. And how many people do you have working on that? And what do they cost in the long run? I mean, I get it. I get it. It becomes this really huge hole. And with apps, if you are a if you are an indie developer, for instance, when you are alone, you basically have to do everything yourself. So you might not have someone that can help with marketing or anything like that. So you have to do marketing. You have to push it out yourself, and then you have that week of sales, and it pretty quickly, unless it's unless it gets a lot of traction. A usual app will just sell well during the first 2-3 days, and then it drops off, and it goes pretty fast. And then after a week, you're kind of gone from everybody's mouths, and then everyone is looking for something new. How can you give any tips for any developers that wants to, stay out there for longer with their apps?
I would say, I mean, just based upon experience, like when Apple decides that they have a new OS or they have a new system, for their plugins, or, like AUV3, just, decide really, if you have multiple apps, if you've got, and unfortunately I'm kind of going against keeping the apps up, but if you have something like 10 or 15 or 20 apps on the store, and you just gotta, you might have to get rid of the ones that aren't working or aren't making any money, even if they're good. But my advice would be to the developers is just, if they come out with a new plugin, or a plugin like AUV3, or if they go to AUV4 or AUV5 or whatever, just hurry up and go ahead and do the new platform. Make sure that you update the applications, because we missed out on a lot of free Apple advertising and stuff like that, because we took too long to acclimate to the new system.
Right.
And from coming from AGONIZER Multimedia, who honestly, we got a ton of free Apple advertising for the first 5 years. We were used to it. So not getting it anymore because we didn't update our apps. We couldn't update them fast enough. We felt it. Definitely felt it. So yeah, that would be my recommendation. Is just like, don't try to beat them. Don't be upset with them. They're gonna change, and that's it. You gotta keep changing. You gotta keep moving. That would be my recommendation for any new app developer.
I think that's great advice. Would you be okay with me using this clip if I made a video for my main channel?
Yeah, totally.
That is so awesome. I'm so happy that you joined the StreamStar. I mean, you definitely know how this business works. So it feels like that was a golden opportunity. Thank you so much for that.
Another one that I would say is that having done artist relations and marketing for apps, you have to stay relevant. So even in the very first month, like for example, when we worked together, and also Black Hole is still to this day one of my favorite iOS apps, and that's from Eventide. It's still one of my favorites. And when we released Black Hole, like, you made a music video for it. Like, that was amazing. Like, that's what every artist relations person always wants, is like a music video. And you made one, and it was awesome.
Thank you.
And that's what sold the app. You know what I'm saying? So however many people I could get in the beginning to actually, make presets. So Mitch made presets, Dean made presets, like a bunch of people, like Black Violin, like I got maybe 12 or 15 artists to make presets. And that helps out too, because then everybody's making videos. So in the first month, if you can keep your app in the top 10, or at least in the top 20 for the first month, you're going to be relevant for the rest of the year.
All right.
If you can't do that, if you can't keep yourself in in the top 10, or get a feature from Apple, if you get a feature from Apple, obviously you're going to be, relevant. But once you let your app be irrelevant, it's just going to go away. And it's not a lot of money that you make on these apps, but you can. I mean, I'm not going to say which company or how, or what app it was, but I will say on Christmas Day, one application made $80,000
On that one day.
on one day.
Yeah, that's insane.
So having people like reach out to other artists and someone like me or something like that, like that's relevant. Like that'll keep you relevant.
Yeah, I usually tell developers that whenever they're, launching something, they should at least email everyone, current writing about it, blogging about it, YouTubers, any musicians they might know that have a channel or something like that. And to do that every time. And sometimes I've gotten like an answer like, yeah, I don't have the time, man. I've been so tired. I've been doing this. I've been working overkill like 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. I get that. I used to do YouTube like that for years, and then I stopped because I was burning myself out. And I also think that might be happening. What happens on a big company when one of the developers, can't work for maybe a month or something like that? Have you ever had a situation where that happened?
The only situations that have happened is where like if a developer quits and they're the only one that has like the code for the new stuff. It's very, very detrimental when that happens. But as far as like someone being gone for a month or anything, like no, that's really hasn't been an issue. I mean, even with COVID, there's other developers to pick it up. But I've only really worked, aside from haQ Audio, I've only really worked for like, companies that have more than one developer.
All right.
So.
Well, that's really interesting. I'm gonna use these clips, by the way, because I think every small, not small, every indie developer definitely needs to hear about this. It's gold. It's absolute gold. And I know it can be hard, but if there are any developers listening, you should really take the advice given by Star here. She definitely knows what she's doing. Thank you for the praise, Star, by the way.
No, thank you, honestly, for, this very kind and sweet introduction that you gave me. And you always say hello to me when I pop on. I just, I really, really am, very grateful. So thank you.
Well, that's because you're part of my YouTube family. I mean, everyone here in chat, everyone that pops up, they keep coming back, it's family. And it's why I started this channel, to hang out with all of you and talk to all of you, because I love you so much for everything that you do. I mean, I'm nothing without you. We do this together.
No, you are everything.
Thank you so much. Now you need to stop doing that to my ego. I think it's had enough. I'm trying to stay humble here. Help. So what are you gonna be doing for the rest of the? I say evening, but it's not evening where you are right now, is it?
No, I'm in Florida. I'm actually looking out the window like, wow, it's so nice out. It's really nice out because it's maybe like 70 degrees right now. We haven't really had to use our ACs at all for like the past couple weeks. So it's really nice. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. So.
Oh, all right. Okay. So, completely different weather. So that's I like it here right now, Star, I have to say, because I'm looking out and, well, I can't see now, but if I did see, I would be seeing snow, and it's snowing, and it feels great when I go outside because I can feel frost building up in my mustache, and I absolutely love that. That's pure nature love for me.
Yeah, you love the winter wonderland vibe, huh?
Yeah.
I'm down with it. I love winter wonderland. I've been a snowboarder for many years, but you gotta, if you're born in Florida or you're born in like a tropical or subtropical climate, you don't automatically want to be in cold weather. You have to embrace it through like winter weather sports or something else, because otherwise it's just cold and that's it. So
I think I even heard Perfect Fifth here agree with me. A short yes. I love that, by the way, because Perfect Fifth is from Canada, and so it's a bit higher up on the on our...
No, wait. You might be getting people confused. I'm from the state.
Oh, you're from the state? Oh yeah, it was Mr. Fung who's
Yeah.
from Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm from Canada. From
Yeah,
Western
right,
Canada.
right. So perfect fifth. Where in the U.S. are you?
Privacy.
All right, I get it. I get it. Privacy. I get it. I respect that. I absolutely respect that. If anyone else want to jump in and chat with us, this has been one of the most fun streams for me, at least. I hope you're enjoying it. We're getting some great business advice from Star. We've had Perfect Fifth here, who's a very private person, but still decided to come on and say hello, which I really appreciate. We got Mr. Fung from Canada, who's sitting and multitasking at the moment, hoping that his boss isn't gonna yell at him for talking to us live here during the chat here at Jakob haQ Live. Oh yeah, I forget to promote myself on my own channel. Someone told me that you don't say your name often enough, Jacob. But I find it so obnoxious. I've watched videos on YouTube where people do that all the time. They drop their names and they drop their Instagrams and they drop everything all the time, just completely trying to brainwash you. I find it obnoxious, and I can't even watch stuff like that myself. That's why I don't do
It's
it.
perfect.
Pyro. Who is Pyro?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome.
It's me, Future Music.
Future Music. All right. Welcome to the chat, Future Music, or Pyro.
Yeah, there's a little like. I know. That's my first alias. I know. I promised to join maybe later, but I jumped in to say hello, and it's the second show today for me.
Oh, okay.
This morning I was on the radio, so I thought I should grab a chance.
So, what were you talking
about? Nice to meet you all, guys.
Yeah, nice to meet you, dude. What did you talk about on the radio?
Oh, don't mind that.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that.
Nothing too interesting.
So, what do you do when you're doing app music?
I'm not sure if this show is running late already. Star Wars was.
Star Wars?
Stars. No. Star was great telling about all these things. I just may say I'm not sure. I watch your shows for several years already, and just want to say that the second album I'm trying to place this year made almost entirely on iOS.
All right. How many tracks have you gotten up to so far?
Oh, there will be almost 20.
So when you get that ready,
I stacked them up, just recording, and last year I found that there are already 16, and I decided to release them. No, like a sketchbook.
all right. But when you have the second album, drop me a link so I can listen to it.
You know, the truth is, it should come out in 2017, and it's 21 now.
Oh,
but
that's
I
many
guess
years.
it will be out soon.
So you've been working on it for 4 years? Almost.
Yes, and it just at some moment it got stuck at that point that I need to record my vocals. That was the main problem.
Is it a problem for like all of the tracks, or is it just one track that you have problems recording vocals for?
It's mostly instrumental, and there are a few tracks that are songs.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. But is the
Now
problem
struggling to finish it.
is the problem
I am not sure what the problem is, but they are not ready yet.
okay, okay. Yeah, it can be kind of hard to complete
happens.
anything if you don't know exactly what it is. That happens to me too. Yeah, that happens. So, do you have a favorite app?
About the apps. I'd like to say so. You can get, if I was working in 2017, planned to release. My iPad is kind of old. I must confess, I'm the ugly duckling I see here with my iPad 3.
All right. Oh, yeah, that is
Yes,
an
that's
old
right.
iPad. Yeah.
And I decided to reboot it. Reset to factory settings, and it went clear. And then I couldn't find my apps on the store.
Oh no.
You know, I had like 4 pages of them. But one friend of mine told me that I can look for them in purchased
Yeah,
tab
exactly.
in App Store.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen a lot of
was-
people talk about that before. If anyone is wondering, if you've ever done what Pyro, I'm saying Pyro because you're named Pyro in chat. I'm
Okay.
sorry, but if you've ever done that, like a reset to your iPad, and you have a hard time finding your apps again, you just go to the App Store, you go to the purchased tab, and you're able to download them again if they're available when you've purchased them. So
I mean, if there was a new version out, then you can download from this tab the one version that fits your old iPad.
yeah,
That's all.
right, exactly. If you have an iPad.
But still, some apps are gone. We all know, Alchemy.
Alchemy.
And so on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think there's a lot of people in chat and a lot of people watching afterwards that misses Alchemy.
I put that in chat. I loved Rebirth, of course, but now I'm not sure. I don't want to download it again. The whole idea was to move to some mobile music. It was enough for me to roll the mouse over the desktop on the PC. So I moved first to Cubasis, and now I'm still trying to go DOLess.
Oh,
but,
okay. Yeah.
We'll see whether it turns right.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with the DALL-E stuff myself, but I'm going to buy that Korg SQ64 because I think that one might solve a lot for me. Have you seen that? The Korg SQ64 sequencer?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I want to get.
We discussed it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
On
really
your
want that one.
I'm looking for something, maybe Akai MPC Live 2.
Oh, right. Okay, but do
But
you?
I'm still not sure if it fits.
Yeah, and you only know that until you can't know until you've tried it. I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to know without trying it.
It's quite pricey.
I don't remember what it cost, but where are you from? Maybe you don't want to say. I don't know. What country are you in?
Let it be a little secret.
Okay, we'll let it be
For
a
now.
secret. We'll let it be a secret. But I don't know about hardware or app prices where you are. I'm in Sweden, and many times I can see that both apps and hardware can be a bit more costly. They can cost more, be a bit more expensive than they are perhaps in the States because of different taxing and stuff like that. And I know that in some countries they can be
Yes.
extremely pricey.
Oh, I found my smuggler.
You found your smuggler?
Yeah. Let's keep that in secret too.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on in chat, but he found a smuggler, and that's a good thing. That's good, right? It's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you so much for joining up, man. And I hope we get to do this again. And thank you so much for supporting me like this.
Sure.
And yeah, I hope you want to watch more streams in the future.
Very glad to meet you. Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day. Everyone, this is turning into a very awesome stream. This is so awesome. I wanted to do this for a while, and I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to solve everything technically, But being able to run the little iPad with the out into the sound card like this has worked quite well. Have you been able to hear? Smuggling is always good. Someone said bye bye. That was AJ Booster, and I want to thank you for joining up the stream. And I'm sorry, sad to see you leave, but nice to be here. That you're here. I don't know if Dean heard it or if the audio dabbler heard it, but Star even name dropped you guys because you've been making presets for the Black Hole, and I'm with Star on that. Black Hole is it is one of the best reverbs I've ever used, and here's some more free marketing for Eventide at least. They don't have to pay anything for that. Black Hole is so damn good. I just keep talking about it whenever I have the chance because I like it so much. There are two apps, two AUV3s on iOS that I love incredibly much, and that is EOS 2 from Audio Damage and also Black Hole from Eventide. And they have both completely different characters to them because these development groups or whatever, the people that had their fingers into the code, whoever were fingering the code, everyone, they have different ways of doing stuff, so they sound different, and I can't really emulate the sound of one with the other and vice versa. And let's see what Eventide does in the future, by the way, because, I mean, they have loads of algorithms, loads of stuff to release when it comes to apps. But then again, like Star said, what do you do when you have 40 apps to take care of or 80 apps or whatever? How do you maintain that? Sometimes apps has to go. And, I mean, there we actually heard a reason, a proper reason to why some apps disappear. Money. You can't maintain it. If you can't maintain it, if you can't make money off it, you have to let some go, even though it is a good app. And that is a damn shame. And I get it as a consumer why we get pissed, because I'm a consumer too. But I understand completely what Star says. It's just like that. If you can't keep paying for something. You can't have a product or a thing hemorrhaging money from you. And I mean, as private people, personal people, as private people, as common people, common Joes and Marys, and everything in between, we also do stuff like that. Sometimes, something costs too much, and so we choose not to. I mean, we do that with our purchases. If something costs too much, it might be a good thing, but it costs too much, so I can't purchase it right now. We do stuff like that. For a company, it means they have to drop something. It's a shame. It's a shame. And I do hope that someone makes that aim and break generator, because I love it so much. I might actually get back to using Craft more now that I'm playing with it again, but it's a brilliant app. It's brilliant for everything that it does. It's just that it takes me time to do stuff. It takes me a lot of time to do stuff. Black Hole. Okay, here's the funny thing. For some reason, YouTube thinks that Black Hole is something you need to censor. So I have to clear those comments. Why, YouTube? I get YouTube censoring swear words, but Black Hole? Are you serious? Are you serious? Why? Why? I mean, I can get that YouTube might think that there's something weird and maybe, kind of racist when you say the words maybe separate, maybe. I don't know, but the algorithm just needs to get the word black hole, It's it's a thing in space, for crying out loud. Come on.
YouTube is spacist.
It's spacist. YouTube is spacist. I should maybe make that shirt. Be one of those gaming YouTubers who makes shirts out of everything that everyone says just to make a quick buck. I I've seen so many weird shirts coming out from things like that. Oh, Captain, Captain, you're about to get demonetized. I can see that you're typing, Captain, and I don't know how to help you. I think you told me you don't know how to do this, how to join the chat. How do you do that? How do you join the chat? Yeah. So you're typing at the same time, and I can't see it properly because it's darkened out. Let me do this. I think I'm still there. Can I see the chat somewhere? Where is it? No, it just comes up at messages, but I can't really see a message board. How? That is so weird. Okay, I'm gonna try not to concentrate on that right now. Just keep the stream going. I'll be keeping on streaming for at least another 20 minutes, 25 minutes or something like that, and then I'll round it off and end the stream. I usually just do 2-hour streams. Sometimes I want to do it more, but I always save my voice so that I can keep doing the video work, because it's even more, what do you say, it takes even more energy away from me, and it makes me way more tired than a 2-hour stream does, because I can sit and talk for maybe 8 hours just to get my lines right, and I don't script all of it. Sometimes I just want it to sound non-scripted, because I've heard some channels where they script everything and they have this certain way of talking, and that can get too monotone for me, especially as someone who enjoys music and does music, because I automatically hear stuff like that, and so I get tired of hearing a certain monotone voice doing the same thing, same intonation, same rhythm, over and over again. And so I've actually stopped watching channels that I love, but I'm not going to name them because I don't want to poop on them, because they're still doing great work. There was one more app that has disappeared that I can't remember now. We've talked about Alchemy, we've talked about Amen Break Gen, we've talked about Junglist. It's probably something. I think I got my dad in chat. Yep, that's my dad. Hustle James, I haven't seen you there. Sasha, hello Sasha. And then there's Roabois Memnoki Bob. Nope, Nobi. No, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. I'm really sorry. Sometimes I think that you're doing these weird names just to hear me try to say them. Thor, yes, Sion, who also has a YouTube channel.
I was about to mention Thor.
Oh yeah, exactly. Thor. I mean, Thor is one of those things that I've got quite a few videos on my channel about Thor, making different things with Thor, doing synthesis tutorials and stuff. And Thor, thank you there, by the way, for jumping in. And Thor is no longer available on the App Store. That really, really hurts, okay? Because here is an app that I enjoy. And as many of us know who uses who uses Thor, we have not seen many updates. There were an update, but it was mostly just for keeping Thor stable in the new iOS, and that's it. And I think that the reason for why they're not keeping on doing anything with Thor is for the same reason that Star mentioned, that they either have to choose to drop the app because it's not selling, or just abandon it. And they're not abandoning it. They did update it so it's still functional. Let me check, by the way, because I can't remember the last time it was updated. But for me, I think it was a kind of, oh yeah, I can't find it in the store. They updated it and then it disappeared. Oh. So if you still have it on your iPad, you can still use it. And I don't know if they've introduced some kind of a date where it just stops functioning anymore. I don't know. And I'll have to find that out the hard way, I guess, by waiting and seeing. But it is actually an app. The apps you see on my main page are apps that I use often, okay? Very often. So I'll open any of these apps, or one of them, at least once a week, at least. So many times, 2-3 times a week, to do something specific sound or tweak a little thing. So those are the apps. So right now I have Thor here, and then I have VoltSynth, the next one. Then Waldorf Nave, and I'm so scared that it's going to disappear because it's my most loved wavetable synthesizer, apart from, of course, Agonizer, because it's the best synth in the world for apparent reasons. I hope it's apparent. I was there, designing it. It's my baby. Together with me and Kai had a baby. Chad, we had a baby together. We love our baby. Kai had a real baby during this baby birth. We had a real baby birth. Kai, but that wasn't with me. I didn't make a real baby with Kai. He made a real baby with someone else. Yeah, so we had two babies. We had an agonized baby. Sorry, not agonized baby. We had an agonized baby, and then we had a real human baby who actually talks and knows me as the gray-haired mustache man at the other end of the iPad. That's how he knows me, and he loves seeing me. It's really funny. He recognized me as soon as I turn up there with my big hair and my mustache. He goes all crazy. So yeah, real baby and agonized baby. Then we got Shockwave. We got Sunriser Synth. Sunriser Synth recently got an AUV3 update. How cool is that? I mean, that's super cool. Got Red Shrike. We got Cyclops. Poseidon Synth. Argon Synth. Argon is really old. I just need to check if we can open this still. Yes. I love this. I made so many presets for it. I think I made over 256 presets that I shared over the years. We got Tardigrade, Phosphor 2, and Phosphor 3 right underneath it. Sampler, Spacecraft, TC11, Borderlands Granular, Laplace, Unique, Poison 202, Mersenne, Factory. Factory is great. Lagrange Synthesizer, DXI, Magellan 2. I've now switched out Magellan 1 to Magellan 2 because, wow, it's improved and it's nice. AdStation, Cauldron, Virtual Ants, very special synthesizer. Got MIDI introduced to it, so now you can literally mix pictures as if you're mixing an oscillator. And then Synth 1 from AudioKit because amazing synth, amazing work. And then Model D. That's what I got on my first page, and we'll go over my second page some other time. But yeah, these are apps that I at least once a week I open them up and I do something with them, and I'm so afraid that I'm gonna lose any of them. I don't want to lose any apps, but yeah, it's gonna happen. It's bound to happen at some point. Was there any more? No, I think I've mentioned all, and then of course Ubin to Ed. Gumdrops DM. Whoever Gumdrops is, Gumdrops got a DM. I think. I don't know who Gumdrops is. Or are you telling me that Gumdrops DM'd me? I have a hard time keeping up. Star had a problem with technology, she said, but I know what that's like, I know what that's like. I'm having a hard time keeping up too. I keep forgetting that I'm members of certain social platforms, and then a month will go by and I'm not answering any comments or any emails and anything because I've been spending all that time answering YouTube comments and Instagram comments instead. It's just gonna happen. It's a mess. It's a big mess. Still trying to streamline some stuff, and it's not going that well really. Maybe I just have too much on my plate and need to do, like Star says, just drop some stuff. But I'm trying to figure out what that is. I need to check the stats and see where people are mostly active and then drop one of the platforms. And I know that that's going to be a lot of maybe anger from some people, but I can't keep up. I'm just one person, and I'm trying to do the videos, which takes the most amount of time from me, and then I'm trying to do everything else. And what I want to do is I want to do these streams. I want to do the main content on the main channel. I want to be able to interact with you more on Discord, especially also with patrons who did pay for that tier to chat. I want to do that, and I want to be able to answer all the comments on YouTube and Instagram. So I don't know, maybe Facebook might have to be the one that goes, people are gonna get so mad. They're gonna get so mad at me. Perfect Fifth, would you be mad if I drop my Facebook? Mr. Perfect Fifth. Maybe.
I mean, I really don't care about Facebook. Facebook's pretty dead.
I love that. I still get so many interactions on Facebook. I think it might be an age thing. I'm not assuming anyone's age,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay, yeah, I think so too. Perfect Fifth, do you think I should get an OnlyFans? Sorry, not OnlyFans. Do you think I should get uh, no, the other one, the other one, where all the cool kids are at, you know? TikTok. Do you think I should get a TikTok?
And nah.
Nah. Okay. No. No TikTok from me. Whew. That would have been another thing for me to work on. That's just horrible. I don't know if Mr. Fung is still here. Do you think I should get an OnlyFans? Sorry, TikTok. Maybe it's multitasking. Maybe the boss is yelling.
Sort of. I'm over here multitasking and laughing. TikTok, if you want to start doing dance sequences and showing us all your dance moves, I say don't worry about TikTok. You're better off like in Instagram posting short musical clips and stuff.
Okay, so you're saying I should start dancing on Instagram?
No, just that's mostly all I see on TikTok.
No.
Dancing and lip syncing.
You're definitely saying that. I think that's what everyone. Don't you agree? That's what it's saying. I'm gonna start dancing on Instagram. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that.
I'd have to disagree because honestly, you are one of the funniest people, just generally in general. So I think that if you want to explore your more comedic side of introducing people to your music and stuff like that, I would suggest going on TikTok. Facebook, in regards to Facebook, I keep my Facebook alive only to keep in touch with all of the artists and the editors and my friends, things like that. Because people's phone numbers change, people's locales change, emails change. Facebook seems to be the only way to get in touch with people in case you need to, in case you lost your phone or whatever it is. But yeah, TikTok, I would say, Jacob, go for it. I mean, you're really a funny guy and you would definitely amass a large amount of people just by being yourself.
All right. Okay. Okay.
So
okay.
I would explore it for a minute. I mean, just because everybody else is like, nah, like, why don't you, try it out? You don't have to do any dance moves, but if you did, it'd be much cooler if you did.
Oh, okay, but I should stay off the OnlyFans then, definitely, right?
Oh, I don't know anything about OnlyFans. I've never logged on to that. I mean, I had to cancel my subscription. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really have one. So, but yeah, you probably don't need an OnlyFans account. I mean, unless you want your girlfriend to break up with you.
No. I told her I would only do cheesy feet. And she said that's cool. If you can make money off your cheesy feet, then sure. You basically put, as I understand it, there was some scientist who invented it. Del Belfine, I don't know. But she basically takes picture of her feet, and she's been like stomping on these Cheetos. That's what I take from it anyway. I don't know. I don't think I need an OnlyFans, but yeah, I want to thank everyone for their advices. And I can see that there is someone in chat that hasn't spoken yet. Eco, are you here? ECOU, are you available? Are you available? Do you have a mic? Do you want to chat? If you do, you can just unmute yourself and start talking to us. Iku disappeared.
Great reaction.
Iku disappeared. Oh no!
So that was an amazing reaction. Like, nope, see ya.
Nope. But that's okay. It's perfectly fine if people don't want to do that. I get it. I mean, it's kind of a privacy barrier to cross over. Exposing your voice to people you don't know. So I fully respect that. It was funny though. Just disappeared. So I'm at a point where you've probably seen this before. Maybe you're able to recognize it. Everyone in the chat room here on Discord. Whenever I do like this and I t- I stumble on words. It's because I'm trying to figure out what to say next, because I feel like I've already talked through all the talking points, talked about everything that needed to be talked about, and I have no idea what I'm going to do next. And so I just keep on talking. I just keep on putting mouth words out there, in the air, to keep it up. But I really
Welcome
feel
back.
lost. Oh, Iku is back. Iku is back. Are you still? Oh no, Iku is gone. Oh no, Iku has a
It's
bad reaction
Discord
to
for
me.
you.
Yeah, I watched this guy on YouTube. He streams a lot on Twitch too, I think. It's called Penguin Zero. Charlie is his name. And whenever he tries to do Discord chats, it just goes to hell, because there's always 100 people in there, and they all want to talk at the same time. That's what I was afraid of. I wasn't afraid of getting 100 people
Let me
in here.
talk right now.
But yeah, like that. But with 100 people, it just, oh, I love it. And I found a new channel, by the way, that I've fallen in love with. It's a gaming YouTube channel. It has nothing to do with music. And now I can't find out. Okay, so the dude basically makes videos about playing games, right? But imagine a game like Sims. He sets it up so that you're doing all the things you're not supposed to do. So you're not supposed to off your Sims. I don't want the algorithm on YouTube to detect the real word I want to use, but you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do horrible things. And then he does these zoo emulators and roller coaster emulators. I think it's the channel name is Let's Game It Out. I think that everyone should just go and watch one of those videos. I think he plays a game where you make pizza too, and he makes the most horrifying pizzas ever. He made one pizza with 29 kilos, or what is it, like 60 pounds of cheese on it, and he got really bad reviews from the customer. Yeah, I just find them extremely funny. Is there someone who wants to join? I'm sure we missed something. I think that's the Google Hangout. Atomorifer. Hey, Isu. I can't say that. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but hello. I saw you in chat, but you disappeared. Atom or Riffer, which do you guys prefer? Or X-Sequence? Me personally, I prefer Atom. Not because the other ones are bad, it's just Atom works well with me. And there is some cool stuff happening with Atom for the future. I've got some cool announcement and stuff coming for the future. So keep an eye out on that space, because ever since I made that first video about MIDI sequencing in AUM, and then the second one, I've seen the discussions just blossom up. I'm not saying that I started them. They were already there before. But now I've seen them in this one space, in my YouTube comments, and comments on other platforms where I posted that, and then I've seen it on AudioBus and iPad Musician Group, and there are so many developers that have contacted me also talking about everything they're planning to do with their MIDI sequencing apps. We're gonna see so many cool things happening with Atom, with LK. LK is gonna do some awesome stuff, and we're gonna see cool things happening with Drambo. Oh, the roadmap for Drambo. Wow, looks amazing. So we're gonna get a lot of cool sequencing, and I am of course also working on a video where I'm doing sequencing with Drambo only, because you don't really have to load Drambo up in AUM. You could just use Drambo as it is and then load your AUV3s in there. The only problem with Drambo for now is that you can't record automation properly, and that's something that should be introduced. It's the same thing with Atom, and that will probably come in the future. I can't say for sure, but it's gonna happen at some point. I'm kind of sure, but it's not like I know for sure. So I just see that the developer is definitely a very cool person. I've talked to that guy, and that's gonna be interesting. And I am waiting for a Launchpad MK3 to arrive. Yes, a mini one, not the big ones, a mini one that I'm gonna use for some MIDI sequencing stuff and things. And you'll hear more about that when I actually get it and when we get to that point where I can make that video. That's gonna be cool. We'll probably do some live streams to check out different controller setups that we can make and sequencing in AOM. I think that would be cool. Would be cool if we had a chat going then too, if there are anyone out there who does MIDI sequencing in a specific way, talking about that. So let's keep this Discord thing going. Do you think we should keep going with this Discord thing? I think we should. It's been super interesting to have all these people just join up and talk. It's just amazing. It feels like a brand new show for me. What is time? Time is 10:02. Okay, so I kind of need to round it up. And this time, I won't be trolling y'all and just, ending the stream in the middle of a sentence. I won't. I know I said I wouldn't do that last time, and I did. And the time before that, and the time before, I keep saying it, and it always happens. But that's the thing. It happens. It's not really. Well, it is me doing it. But yeah, I won't do that this time. You have been watching Jakob Live. We've been hosted by by some person who disappeared a lot in the Discord chat. We had Mr. Fung, who is a multitasker somewhere in Canada, and then we have Perfect Fifth that have been talking to us even though he's shy, which I think is amazing, and kudos to you. Star Acumen, who is a pro in the industry when it comes to marketing anything, and she's been giving some really good advice. Thank you all for joining up, and everyone in the chat, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Mobile Music Pro, Vortex. Are you streaming on Thursdays now, by the way? Vortex from Mobile Music Pro. He's got a YouTube channel, anyone who doesn't know. Do you stream on Thursdays? If you do, then you can always check that out. I think you told me you would do that. But either way, thank you so much. Love you all, and I'm gonna be going, and that's it. This is the end of the stream, okay? So this is the official end of the stream, and this is where I just keep on talking for a little bit until I end the stream. But I won't be cutting myself off in a sentence. I'll be ending the Discord also at the same time because I need to go and eat. So thank you, Discord people. Thank you so much for joining up. Love you. And yeah.
Thank you.
It's so sweet. Oh, it's so sweet. I hope you do it again. All right, all of you. So let's see here. Can I find the button? Yeah. Okay, so that's good. The button is red. It's a big red button. I'll show you. So here we have end the stream. It's right there. All right. So I'm gonna do this, and then you press it, but it doesn't end the stream, and it asks you. Did you want to say something? Did you want to say something? Are we ending it? Are we ending it?
Are we ending it?
Did the 2 hours really go by this fast?
Yeah, they do. At one of these days, we're gonna do it like this. So the stream goes for 2 hours, and then we'll do chatting live for another hour afterwards. If that would be a good idea, I think that would be a good idea.
Mr. Fung agrees.